Hey guys, Dr. Mike Dusa, MTFU longevity over 50. How are you? Want to talk about pain today and correcting pain. I'm not going to say cure pain because usually pain is a result of some underlying process. So you don't cure the pain, you eliminate the pain by curing the underlying process. But we're not talking about your underlying process today because we're just pixels to each other. I can't do that. I've suffered pain over the years, like most people. I've had a lot of surgeries. And various scrapes and other factors. Currently, right now, I'm suffering something called lateral epicondylitis, also known as tennis elbow, and it was really impeding me. A lot of you guys know who watch regularly. I like to do something called plate curls. This is not a plate; it's a dumbbell. I don't have a plate here, but I grab the plate, and it's for it's a movement for total upper arm development, and it looks kind of like this. And I'm really kind of winging it here, but I think you get the point. And let's pretend I'm holding both sides. But what you're doing is you're working the extensor tendons and muscles in the forearm. They originate from something called the lateral epicondyle. It's a little bony prominence on the outside of your elbow. And they're overly stressed because of the repetitive motion and the weight of this movement. So you get this pain, you get this inflammation in the area. And remember, inflammation is this. Whenever you get inflammation in your tissues anywhere, they do increase in size, maybe just a little, sometimes more. When that happens, there's less room for the mechanical structures in that area to function. And when that happens, you get discord in your movement, in your range of motion, in your ability to maintain balance from side to side. You get compensation going on. You get more pain because of all that, and it's a vicious cycle. More pain equals decreased range of motion. Decreased range of motion equals more pain, so on and so forth. So this lateral epicondylitis, tennis elbow, if you've ever had it, you'll know how really impeding it can be. Never mind just the pain itself. In fact, mine can get bad enough where if I just brush my elbow against a doorknob or something like that, I like wince in pain. I'm like, oh my God. So listen, I've got to get rid of that. Do I do things wrong? I really don't think. For me, I use poor form, but just the repetitive motion alone, that syndrome right there, or that activity of doing things overly so, can cause this inflammation and this pain. And listen, you can get it via playing tennis, golf, gardening, a bunch of different things, as long as there's repetitive motion. And again, you can look at if it lasts over 6 to 8 weeks, you can go for like a corticosteroid injection. You can take some Celebrex pills, things like that. It's not really necessarily surgical in most cases, but I've had enough of that. I don't want to put any more junk into my body like I've had to do in the past with a lot of supervised medical interventions for me. So what did I find? I found something called CBD oil. And you probably heard about that in the media recently. It's like the big fad right now. I'm not into fads. In fact, when people ask me about anything that's new, I usually don't really have a good answer for them because I don't jump on the bandwagon of hardly anything. But for me, I just really had to know. If you look at CBD oil, I'm going to read this here so I don't butcher it. Cannabidiol oil, CBD. It has another factor in it called THC. Those two factors, the CBD and the THC, they get into your system, and they, via the scant literature and studies, and we're always wary of studies. We want to know where the money's coming from, whose side the studiers are on, and is it real and is it relevant to you? I always say be your own lab. It said that these can help or correct a host of different health maladies. We're talking about pain here today. It can supposedly block some of the pain receptors in the area of infarct, and that's fine. I did my research in Connecticut. I was near a Walgreens last week. I said, let me run into Walgreens and see if they have this stuff. And I went in there and they said, well, 15 states in the country, Walgreens carries this, not here in Connecticut right now. And the girl told me, well, there's a Hallmark in back of the store, and they carry it there. Another store outside. I'm like, really? That's interesting. So I went over there. I didn't ask them why Hallmark was carrying it, but I bought it there, and I got the roll-on. Okay, there's different ways you can take this, and then we get into can it help me? Does it help everyone? How fast will it help me? Well, first of all, you've got roll-on, you've got spray, you've got a tincture that you could take sublingually under the tongue. You could vape it. I guess that maybe makes vaping a little more legitimate. And you could even have it injected. So there's a lot of different ways, modes of delivery. And interestingly, the roll-on is supposedly the slowest acting. If you are a candidate for this working for you, it'll take 25 to 40 minutes to create some pain relief. To me, that's fast. It says in the literature that that's the slowest, and the fastest is injection. Supposedly, if you're going to gain any benefit from it, it's going to be immediate because it's injected right into the bloodstream. Now, there are factors as to whether you're going to be a candidate or not for this to be working for you and decreasing your pain. It could be body weight, it could be body mass, it could be the integrity and the proper functioning of your digestive system, your blood and body chemistry, other factors, other illness or pain or injurious factors that you may know or know about. And then there's some people who just don't listen. Look at penicillin. Some people have an allergic reaction to penicillin, and other people don't. Other people don't. Why is that? Well, that's because everyone's different, and there are very few absolutes. So CBD oil, I take it, okay, and I started last week, and right here to this area, which is my worst area. I have it on both sides, but it's worse on the left than the right. But I want to hit both areas because if this is bad for a long time, I'm going to compensate with this side by doing more work, and then I'm going to have a problem here. So we always want to kind of be balanced. And I just rub it in. I use a good amount right over the area. And I'll tell you, that day, I'm back to doing my plate curls, 45-pound plate. I was up to 50 reps. And I dropped down to like 12 or 15 reps to the point where I stopped doing them because the pain was so bad. But now I'm back. I did this, and the pain's been gone. I use it each time, each day. And I can't argue with that. You know, it's relatively innocuous in that there's no synthetics in this. At least the FDA hasn't come down on it yet. The government probably right now is trying to figure out a way to make this prescription or take it off the market. Why? Because for me, at least, it works. So I do want to say in closing, I am developing a product under the MTFU line, a roll-on CBD oil. I'll have it available here relatively soon. Let me know if you're interested in that, because again, remember, you know, don't be the beast master or the beast or whatever the gym and you want to be in pain. Pain is stupid. Pain is you're treading along like a stupid fool and doing things wrong, and you're gonna end up out of the gym, and none of that's good. So, you know, stay out of pain, but remember, pain is a problem, but you really want to correct the underlying dysfunction, and that's up to you to find out what that is. Your thoughts, comments, questions, and considerations, please write them below. It's always my pleasure. Your interaction is my oxygen. Please help me breathe, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you, Dr. Mike Dusa, MTFU Longevity Over 50.